I've been in education for 20 years now. And when I say I'm in education for 20 years, I have done so many different aspects of education. And there's so much to unpack when I talk about education. When people think of education, the first thing they think, or the first thing that pop into their mind is like you're in front of the class, you're teaching. And so much more behind the word education. I changed jobs 9 times in my life, all in education, but doing different things. I was a teacher once in high school. I was teaching once in a university. I still do. I still teach in a university. I was a curriculum reviewer at some point, and I gave teacher training. I gave training to a lot of different people about education. I keep thinking about how do I keep giving more impact to my work. And more impact means that I don't just deal with people within the classroom. Like, for example, when I review curriculum, the first thing I think is that if a student is learning through this curriculum, he sits in the class, will it open his mind in a certain way? So that's how far I think. I deal a lot with international students. They're away from their family. They're mostly 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And this is the first time being abroad, the first time studying in a university. And a lot of them came from the same community as I do. A lot of them are Indonesians, for example. And Indonesia puts so much emphasis with hand-holding their kids. So for them to be abroad, away from their family, not a lot of parents realize that at home, these kids were not equipped with living alone. They're not equipped with things that they have to do by themselves, for example, solving a particular problem. And I'm not talking about something as little as going for grocery shopping, but things like, how do I make a decision when I'm in a gray area in my life? 2020 was the hardest time for everyone, that's for sure, but I've never seen the scale of how many of my students broke into a situation where they were so depressed. Their family didn't understand what they're going through. They went under the radar from the family. And the fact that they're so away, their parents cannot reach out to them. The only person that could reach out was me. So this is the aspect of education that doesn't get into the spotlight. The glitz and glamour of education most of the times lies to the fact that you go to school, what uniform you have, your teachers, they graduated from Harvard or any other important universities, and when you graduate, you become the successful next Mark Zuckerberg. But a lot of them don't talk about, how about when they midway realize this is not the right major for them? What if they graduated and they realize there's no job opportunities because this is 2020? Who's going to deal with those? And they're alone. And these are the aspects of education that I keep wanting to focus on. The fact that it doesn't get into the classroom, it doesn't get to be talked about, no one is equipped talking about it. And I want to change students' lives that way. Not in a way that I can give them future, but in a way to guide their hands. It's like, look, it's okay to not know what to do. I've seen enough students who, after 4 years or 5 years of studying, they're like, this is not something for me. I like something else. And I want to be the person to tell them, it's okay. Go for it. But in Asia, in a lot of different cultures, not just in Asia, mistakes is taboo. And to say that after 4 years or 5 years of studying, and to tell your parents like, I don't know if that's the right program for me, I didn't like it. It's almost a slap on their face. Even though I'm in a classroom right now, and my role is to help students coming to South Korea and study, and to establish partnerships with other universities. In between my free time, I'm a mother of a lot of different kids. And I am involved in their lives in the way how a friend is involved. I just happen to be older and happen to be teaching. In the long run, I still want to do this. I want to be in the position where I get to see students in their vulnerable side and direct them in a way that they have enough tools in their hand to continue with their lives. I pay special attention to culture because I'm a mixed kid growing up in multiple different cultures, living abroad in, my third country. So for some reason, relationships, whether it's romantic, interpersonal, it's something that I find fascinating. And I can't be entertained enough with the romantic relationship stories. So from Indonesia to United States, now in South Korea, I've met so many different people who are in relationship with people of a different culture. And each time they vented to me or they confided to me, I focus on different things and pinpoint at different things. And I thought, it would be nice if I could have an opportunity to talk about this, particularly that I'm a foreigner in South Korea, and every time I'm hearing my students or my friends talking about the dating experience, I felt like this is so interesting. I wish someone would talk about it. One of the universities in Daejeon was organizing a TEDx event. I thought, like, let me audition and see how it goes. I've never met anyone in Korea who would talk openly about this on a TEDx event. So there I was. I was talking about intercultural relationships, and of course, because my father was a big influence in my life, I used it as an entry point. But it's so funny that people who came to my talk, they were expecting like, oh, dating a Korean. How's the experience dating in Korea per se? Although it was part of my talk, but it wasn't the bulk of my talk. I touch up with so many different aspects of just in general intercultural dating. But it serves as a reminder to me that there's so much in romantic intercultural relationship that to unpack. So maybe in the future I can talk more about it or in different TEDx event. But it was a mind-blowing experience to stand up in that big podium and be a little bit vulnerable. Talking about my father is a big thing. So talking about, my upbringing is a big thing. And it's just so hilarious when people come up to me, I was kind of expecting that you're going to talk about dating a Korean kind of bit because I'm in that situation. But they said a lot of the talks are relatable, the points are relatable. It's not about Korea per se, but they use it as an entry point in their own reflection. So it was really fun. It was really fun. It was a journey that I will highly treasure for the rest of my life. Thank you so much for watching. And to know more about a lot of different personalities living in South Korea, stay tuned for a different video from Foreign Hero.